Well, it took about 18 months to complete the enormous task of erecting our building. John, tell us how a typical day went for you during that period of time.
During the construction, most days I'd start on site at about daybreak, work through with contractors and voluntary workers, organising materials and so on site, and then I'd go back to my office, my place of employment, and there I'd order materials and so on to be delivered during the course of the day or over the next couple of days. And then late afternoon I'd go back on site just to check things and make sure everything was done according to plan.
Well, we didn't have a builder per se, so how did it all come together? What made it happen?
Well, I was responsible to the board and to the church for the overall project management of the project, but I had a lot of helpers who were there on site during the day, and voluntary workers and good contractors who were able to see the project through while I wasn't there. As you can see, here's the steelwork. This was one major contract that we let out.
Yeah, it was just the steel alone. Look at that from the air. It's an enormous task to put all that up. And to draw all that together, what do you think was the key to putting it all together so smoothly?
Well, I think there were a lot of people that gave themselves voluntarily and a lot of good contractors who were able to pull the whole program together. Here you can see a number of people working on site at the time.
Well, they're just posers, those ones. So, yeah, there they are moving the shed. What was going on there? That was a funny day, that one.
We had to clear the site in preparation for the new building, and here's a group of people moving the shed. They actually picked it up and carried it.
Yeah, it looked like a millipede. But there seemed to be people everywhere. Every time you came to the site, you could see another member of the church in another position somewhere.
Yes, there were painters, there were plumbers, there were electricians. All sorts of people voluntarily gave themselves to work on that project. Here we see some drain laying. Volunteers laid the stormwater drains.
Even old Mrs. Mop was, what, 70-odd years of age and used to come down and clean up all the bricks and stuff and get rid of all the rubbish behind the builders.
The thing I liked too was many of the ladies brought down nice food to eat during the day.
Yes, that was good, that was good. There were some problems with the building. One of them I remember was something to do with the union regulations.
Yes, the unions can have put on very tight controls, of course, and one of the requirements was that proper handrails had to be around elevated areas. And at times we were rather lax, wanting to get the job done, and so this particular day the inspector came and found some of the handrails not up to scratch, so he pulled the job to a halt until we rectified the problem and overcame it.
It just so happened that we had a builder there, or a union man there, that could help us to sort that problem out. Here's the tower coming in. We actually put that in 2 or 3 months later. That was our landmark, but there was a lot of preparation work even just in putting that. In fact, you had to raise the height of it or something, didn't you?
Yes, we had to cut off the legs off the tower where it was in position before and place the new base into the ground and then attach the tower to the new base.
Did you ever think it was too big and it'd swamp us?
It was a big task, but we knew that God was in it, and if we took it one step at a time, with all the people assisting us, we knew we could see it through.
Yeah, meeting the deadlines was amazing, like those fire doors that we had problems with.
Yes, that was quite interesting, really, because as you know, planning ahead, we had to book a special day for the opening, and we had to try and meet that deadline. Unfortunately, there were some things that were not done in time, the fire doors being one of them. So what we had to do was engage the services of some firemen to actually make it legal to allow for the opening.
And it just so happened the head fireman happened to be a member of our church.
Well, it's God's provision all the time, isn't it?
That's right.